Okay, it says we're live, but hello, everybody. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Paranormal Addicts Podcast. My guest today is Dan, the man, Rivera. So let's start out, Dan. Just introduce yourself to everybody, and then we'll get going from there.
Hey guys, my name is Dan Rivera. I'm from New England Society for Psychic Research. I'm NESPR's senior lead investigator, and I work closely, in everything in the works with the Warrens, handling the objects in the museum, going on cases, helping clients, and trying to help them in any ways possible, with paranormal activity or spiritual protection, you name it.
All right, let's just start out with a little background question. Let everybody know how you got into the paranormal field. I know you got into it young, and I know your backstory, but share it with the people.
Yeah, getting involved in the paranormal field, I think it's not that it caught my interest. It's just always been a part of my life. Growing up in an environment that was heavily charged by things that my family was involved in, with Santeria and everything, and the effects that it had on me, living in this 4-family house, having my aunt's altar underneath my bedroom, and experiencing being pushed out of bed, pushed into the wall, your toes being pulled in the middle of the night. My aunt would tell me if we misbehaved that I can't name the name of the spirit that she would say it was a demon, and it would come in the middle of the night pulling on my feet, so that was her fear tactic to try to keep us under control. And living in that environment, I witnessed my aunt beheading chickens, stuff like that. As a kid, seeing that, you didn't understand what was really going on, but yeah, that's what she was doing, placing curses on people, being involved in certain things that I can't talk about because there's families out there that were involved. And when I say families that are in the crime business and everything, and I just can't mention their names or anything like that. But many years living in this house, I wasn't the only one experiencing this. There were other family members, cousins that were experiencing it. So thinking that it will all end when we moved out of that house to a different house in a different town, that it would stop, but it didn't. I will still be hearing voices, visitations in the middle of the night, always sleeping with the light on, never feeling safe. It wasn't easy, being scared of it, not knowing what this is. As I got older, I wanted answers, because it just wasn't, your friendly ghost, there. So seeking help from the church and guidance, that helped me a lot understand what's going on. but not realizing why my aunts were doing this and how they were testing me as well, because I was told that I was born with a gift, and they wanted to test me. And I never put anything into it as per saying them telling me that I had a gift. I knew I was hearing voices, seeing things and everything. And that's when I really got involved in the paranormal, getting involved with paranormal groups, looking for answers, evidence of, that you capture on your recorder voices. And I gained a lot of experience doing this. And even, I used my gift when it's needed. And that's probably what led me to the Warrens. There's a lot of things that happened to me when I was younger that set me on this path without even knowing. For instance, driving with my father one day. This is probably around 1980. I can't precisely make out the year, but we witnessed a motorcycle accident. This was leaving Monroe, Connecticut. But one of the stops was the Monroe Diner. And we're heading back on Route 25, and there was a motorcycle with a woman on the back of it. My father looked at me and says, Dan, they're going to get into an accident. Further down the road, all you saw was the bike on the side of the road thrown into the grass area. You didn't see the gentleman that was driving the motorcycle, but the woman that was on the back, she was sitting on the curbside holding her head, and she was bleeding. And there's that story where Ed had kicked out a couple out of the museum because this gentleman was knocking on Annabelle's case, saying, if you're evil, do something to me. And Ed had kicked him out of the museum. And then he got into a motorcycle accident shortly after that. So did I witness that motorcycle accident? Possibly. I mean, the time periods, everything all lines up. And now this day, and I'm working with the Warrens and handling the objects in the museum, especially Annabelle. There's people out there, and a lot of there's my haters out there, and says that Route 25 wasn't even there at that time period. But yes, it was there. Right now it's 2 to 3 lane Route 25 is interstate there now. It used to be a 1 lane interstate before they converted it into a 3 lane. So yes, it was there, and I did witness this accident. I witnessed it. I mean, I can't make anybody believe that story, but I know what I saw that day, and in the connection that is there.
Well, Dan, one thing I've learned, I've been doing this a long time, as we know. I've been doing this for 32 years, and one thing I've learned is you never take away somebody's what they witnessed. If they experienced it, you have to believe it. It's their story, and I don't think and things like that happen. Especially in the field. I like the fact that you called it a gift, because I consider mine a gift too. I didn't necessarily consider it a gift as a kid. As a kid, it scared me. I mean, it scared me a lot as a kid, especially I'm from and still live in not only like the Bible Belt, but like the heart of the Bible Belt. So I had a lot of the people tell me, that it was devil worship and all this stuff. It's not. I'm like you. I use the religion in my investigation. I actually took demonology training from Bishop Long, and we do a prayer of protection before we begin an investigation, and then we do a prayer of detachment afterwards.
Right.
So I'm not saying that, but you have some of these people who think they get it. They get it because the Bible's misquoted. I'm an educated investigator. It's kind of like Rain. It's kind of like Rain said when he was on my show. It's about training and education. So when I decided this was going to be my path, I actually have a degree in parapsychology from West Georgia University. I have a Bible degree from Louisville Bible College. So
Yeah.
so the
A lot of people don't get it, but the church that I was baptized in, it's the same church that Ed and Lorraine Warren worked with the priest at that church. And I also work currently with a priest in that church. It's a traditional Catholic church. And if we need an exorcism performed or to help a family, I get the church involved. The priest that worked with Ed and Lorraine was Bishop. He turned into a bishop, Bishop McKenna. And Father Rodriguez studied underneath Bishop McKenna. And how I met Father Rodriguez, we were in the cemetery in the middle of the night, right next door to that church. And I was walking around because we were doing an event, and we had people visiting Ed and Lorraine's cemetery plot. And I bumped into this priest just walking in the dark pathway. And he tested my faith, and he tested his faith as well. And we didn't agree on everything, but we became really good friends. And I told him, who I worked with, and he was interested in that. And he says if I ever wanted to be a part of the church, and in order for him to help me on cases, I will have to be baptized within the church and married through the church. So I went through all that. And then I, going to mass and everything. And in order for him to help, I had to go to the mass, he says, I had to build my armor before I go on a case. And to this day, there's times where I miss mass and I get scolded from him. I'm that kind of rebel, he knows it, and but if I need help, he's there for me. So he's a good guy. And I also good friends with Father Bob Bailey, which I can lean on him as well for help. So as being part of being a demonologist, yes, I know a lot of demonology, and I call myself a demonologist. But do I? No, I don't put that out there. But I do all the work that a demonologist does, just like Ed, Lorraine, I still have a long ways to go. And I think I'm on the right path.
Yeah, the thing is, and I actually got a couple questions after this, but we're talking about what you said. Just kind of brought this point. I made this point with other people, but there's actually teams and individuals out there in the field right now that they won't go in an investigation if it's possibly demonic or an evil entity, and I don't understand that. I'm not saying I want to rush into a demon, but our job as paranormal investigators is to help those people. So if somebody comes to us for help, and we say, "Oh no, that might be an evil, that might be a demon," so you're on your own. I mean that defeats the whole purpose of us doing what we do.
Right. And there's cases, like I said, I've been in exorcisms and seen it. I mean, I've seen somebody possessed. I wouldn't wish that on anybody to see something like that. And there's steps that you have to take. And the church doesn't want a lot of people in that room unless that you've taken all the steps that they said you have to take. You have to go to mass, you have to go to confession. During the exorcism, you have to say the prayers. Why the priest is performing the exorcism. You need to be 100% in that environment. If you're not, then you're opening yourself to attack being in that same room while this is happening. And there's a lot of people that don't follow that direction. But I appreciate the priest that he will look out for me or anybody that's with me. There's times when we went to a church, we brought the client there, and he wouldn't allow us into the church during this exorcism just because we weren't prepared for it. You have to be prepared to go into that environment.
Exactly. And like you said, if you don't follow the steps, if you don't say the prayers right, if all the steps, like you said, it is a process. It's a ritual, but it's a ritual that has to be followed. There's a reason why there's those steps. And if you don't follow it, you make yourself vulnerable and you make the situation worse. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. So this is a question, you know, this ain't me personally, and I don't want you to take it personally,
No, no.
because we know, we know that I personally have always admired the Warrens. I don't know if you know this story, but I was sharing it with on another episode when Wayne was on my show. So I actually, I'm like you. I was born with my gift, so I didn't have anybody to help me, to help guide me, to help me learn. So about at age 12, 13, 14, I decided to go on my own and research to find out what I need. So the first book I ever read was one Ed, by Ed. And
Okay.
so that's how far back. I never had the honor of meeting him. I'm way down here in Kentucky, but I talked to him. I still got 4 letters from Ed and Lorraine that I got. It might seem kind of silly, but I actually got them framed, hanging in my office. They're
That's
actually
awesome.
right behind me. And so I've always admired them. But there's a certain small but loud percentage of the field right now that have kind of decided that the Warrens were more optimistic than they were actually investigators. What's your reaction to that, and why do you think people react that way?
Well, they were very well known in the field, you know, especially a field that, more people were getting involved in, and as being the people that, people were going to for help, that created the hate groups, pretty much back then, Uh, back then they didn't have social media, it was all through the, tabloids, news and everything, talk shows and everything. But they saw Lorraine getting the attention, being on these talk shows, right? The Devil Made Me Do It case, being out in the media on national TV. Um, that's why they were getting attacked, because their name was out there, and their main purpose was to help people, right? Ed didn't take any shit, you know. Ed said it the way it was being said, if somebody attacked Ed, Ed would attack them back, if somebody slapped Ed, Ed's gonna slap them back twice. All right. Um Today in social media, you're gonna get attacked. We still get attacked today. I have hate groups out there that attack Tony, myself, and other members of the team. It's gonna happen. But it drives me. It drives me to do better. It drives me to go on to the next thing. And in a way to educate people, and to, I use influencers, to reach the younger generation of people, kids and everything, to pass that knowledge along to them. Network TV, they don't watch my channel, but they do watch these YouTubers out there, and I work with them, and that's my way of getting their attention and telling the Ed and Lorraine story. And it's worked. It has worked, and it's been successful for us. And I get garbage from that, from my haters. They try to debunk everything, but that's fine. I mean, I'm okay with that, as long as I know, and this team knows, that we're still doing what Ed and Lorraine has started, and we don't veer from it. Our clients appreciate that we work with. All right, you're not going to hear all the stories and cases that we go on. All right, because they are private cases that we take on. All right, they're out there, and we love helping people. That's our gratification, that we're able to do that. All right, nobody can take that away from us. In this field today, I think there's a lot going on with this and the hate groups. you know what? These people are the way they are because, they're not happy in their lives. So what they do, they go and attack other people and make them miserable as well. All right. And if, you gravitate to good people and surround yourself with good people, you know who they are. All right. And you'll always have their back, like in the Navy, say, the boat was on fire, Ed was like, I'm going to help my fellow men, I'm going to go into the fire. All right. And pull them out. All right. I didn't get into this field or even to get, I'm honored to work with the Warrens. And I say a lot, Chris just pointed out to me, I say, you know a lot. So, but, no, here I go again. But I love doing this. And it's my passion. All right. Nobody's going to stop me. And my friends, I keep them close. All right. I made bad decisions in the past. Maybe, I didn't include people that I should have included, and I own up to that. And, I wish that I could change that, but I can't go in the past and change that, but I do put others ahead of myself. All right. It's not that I'm always in the spotlight, I think being a team that, you need to share that responsibility and the people around me. Like I put other people ahead of myself to help them succeed. All right. And like I'm a part of Get Haunted. We have our podcast with Get Haunted. Do we need to be a part of Get Haunted? No, we really don't need to be a part of Get Haunted. I think just by, the Warren's name that our podcast still could be a successful podcast. But I like Rob and I like Sarah. I like working with them. And, yes, it gives us a platform as well with their network, But the reason why we're doing this is because we like them. I like the way they work, and how they are with their members of their team and their podcast that they run with all you guys. I really appreciate that, and it shows me their character and who they are. Yeah, you're right.
Is that in your head?
Well, you brought a good point, Dan. Talking about Ed and Lorraine. Ed and Lorraine, from everything that I
Not a lot.
ever knew about him, from studying him and corresponding with him through letters and one phone call. The only purpose was to help people. That was their hope. That was their whole purpose. And and that's like, and then you take Rob and Sarah. Only thing they do is promote other people. So why? If those are the people that are getting hate, I want to be part of that. You know what I'm saying? Give me the hate too, then. Because that's a good crowd to be with. So yeah.
Yeah, no, they're good people, and it shows when people are attacking them, it's because they're doing something right.
Exactly.
And then you go, a lot of these people that cause this drama, they're not putting everything all out there. They don't tell the whole truth. They use it whatever they want to use as to fit their narrative. And it's just like what's happening around this world today with the media. Certain networks. They don't tell you the whole truth. And to attack their opponents, they take pieces of it, that fits their narrative. So it's no different here. And when they see somebody succeeding, they attack them. It's part of it. It's human nature. It's been around for a very long time. The bad thing about it is that social media, you have a lot of people that listen in. They want to hear the drama, and some of them get too caught up into it that they forget, hey, you know what? There's other sources out there that we could get the full story. They just tend not to look, and they shouldn't be supporting these groups. These people that are creating this hate don't deserve to be on social media. because it's not good for their mental health. And they're creating, a lot of drama in other people's lives that there shouldn't be.
Exactly.
That's the worst thing about social media is that is very toxic, good and bad.
Yes. So, yeah, a perfect example. I don't know if you know Aaron G. Thompson, but from 28 Days Haunted and all that stuff. But Aaron's actually completely left social media till September. He's no Facebook, nothing, because of that reason, because it's such a negative place. He's like, you and I talked to him the other day, and he's like, my life has been so much better without the social media. So yeah, it's just
I hear that from a lot of people, and you know what? I stopped posting on my personal Facebook page just for that reason. But I still need to be connected because of our events that we do and everything like that. But I try not to look at all these posts and everything, But yeah, it's good to get away from it because, just to, get your mental health back. Like I have thick skin, I could take it. Yes, it hurts me, but I could take it. I know what my purpose is in life. I know what I want to do. Like I said, it drives me, and I keep saying, Chris is looking at me. But, it's something, like I said, I love to do. And I think carrying Ed and Lorraine's legacy alive. And, I've made a promise to Lorraine that I will keep doing this with Tony and Judy and the rest of the team here. And I'm not going to fall back on that. So, they could come at me all they want. Evil will be exposed. Evil always gets exposed at some point. And, God be with them because, it's going to come back at them.
Karma's real.
Pretty bad,
Karma's real.
I'm still going to be standing. We're still going to be standing. Get Haunted still going to be standing. All right. And like I said, I don't need to be on Get Haunted. I'm on Get Haunted. It's because I like what they do. I like Rob and Sarah. All right. Yeah, it hurts me when I see them getting attacked. And it hurts Rob seeing other people getting attacked because he does have a heart. I was in the military. Rob was in the military. All right. We have a different outlook sometimes on society. All right. It's just the way we were trained. And the way we talk sometimes. But our hearts are in there. Like, we will have your backs no matter what, But when we see bullshit, we call it out. And that's just the way we are. It's not going to change us.
Well, one thing, if you notice, I'm sure most of the people viewing, if you notice, I no longer have a co-host. So
okay, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, well, it's part of the drama to do with Rob and to get on it. So yeah, so it was a good move. But anyway, So let's move on from that, kind of, because it kind of leads into the next question I got. It's a question I always ask everybody, but I kind of modified it for this season. So, we talk about the drama in the field because unfortunately there's a lot of drama in the field nowadays. Matter of fact, that when I tell people, when they ask me what's the main difference between when I first got in the field and nowadays, that's what I tell them. When I first got into it, it was about the field. It was about helping people. It's about making the field better. Everybody work together. Nowadays, everybody thinks they're going to be a celebrity or whatever. So there's so much drama in it. So the question anyway is, why do you think we have so much drama in the field nowadays? And how do you think we can make the field a better place again?
Is working with each other. Nobody should have an ego in this field. It shouldn't be a competition. We're losing focus of doing a residential investigation, helping the family, versus doing a public investigation again, and the community involved. That's totally different. But the main purpose of why paranormal investigating was there, it was to help people and help them learn and understand. In this field today, I think people are looking at it and they can't divide the two. The entertainment part of it and getting people interested in doing it on these public investigations versus they lost the focus that there is a client out there. There are people that look up to us and search out for help. And if they see this drama in this field, why would they want to come to you for help? And what's happening, they're destroying this field by doing that. So we totally lost the focus. All right. I think what this field should only be is the intentions were to help people. And then, people look at you, oh, you take these items out, you're doing this and doing that only for, fame and everything. No, it's just to get the message out there and educate people. Right. I don't seek and work with big celebrities all the time. I'm on this little podcast. I'm working with the common person, the common guy that's always out there just trying to spread a message. And that's what I like to do. I like to get you guys involved and being part of this. I'm not going out to big celebrities. I'm not searching them out. I do work with some, YouTubers out there, but that's just I'm using that outlet to help get that message out there to a different generation. I think people just lost focus on what this is really about. And they put all this hate out there and thinking that's a platform, to go on right now. All right. A lot of people seeing these paranormal shows leaving network TV. I mean, there's probably only 2 left on network TV right now. And the paranormal is dying out. People are losing interest just because of what's happening today. All right. It's just the focus is lost. All right. I want people, just like what Get Haunted is doing. They're getting people interested to come out and experience the paranormal, educating them. All right. And people hate them for that. That's bullshit. They're trying to keep it alive. And by these hate groups, they're killing the paranormal field. All right. And they don't care. They don't care. They act like evil. They portray themselves as being evil. All right. It's a joke. It's what's, our past, like Ed and Lorraine started this. You have other people that were involved in the paranormal before them. But their goal was to bring awareness of the paranormal. Yeah, I think our goal is to keep it alive. Regardless of these hate groups, our goal is to keep it alive. Let's bring back what our fundamentals are, what our values are in this field. All right. Yes, I think it is time. You guys, everybody needs to speak up against it. Because if you're afraid to speak up against it, you just became part of the problem. All right. Don't be afraid to turn the other cheek. That's fine. But don't sit there. All right. And accept it. Make a change. You don't have to be a part of these hate groups. Keep scrolling. Block them. All right. It will make your life a lot better. All right. When you got drama in your life is not going anywhere. All right. Make something of yourself. Do something. Help somebody. Do good in life. Enjoy it. All right. Don't get caught up on social media. Don't get caught up on these hate groups and the drama and everything. All right. Be a part of something. Be a part of something that's great. We have a great field here, and you're destroying it.
Yeah, I think it was. You made a good point. It was important. While you was talking and answering the last 2 questions, you kept talking about there's a difference between a residential investigation and like a famous location investigation. When you're doing a residential location, your focus has to be with the family you're helping. That's the whole purpose. You don't need to be worried about how many YouTube likes you get, how many people you get on Facebook Live. You need to be focused on helping that family. And then so the way I do it with my team, we residential cases is all focused. So if we have somebody call up and say, I need your help, that's what we do immediately, no matter what our calendar says. But we if we'll go to, like, so for my birthday last month, we went to the row house, the famous row house.
Right.
So but when we go to those places, I look at that more for like training. I'm training my team to what they need to look for in an investigation. So so those we might put out on video, but when we go to somebody's house to help them, that's private stuff. That's between us and the family. We're there to help them. So, and that's what the field needs to get back to, is helping people, and the hell with the drama.
It's true. And these people that are causing it, they also had things that happened in their past, that led them to what they're doing today. And they might not see it as a form of abuse. They're seeing it differently, but the person that's been abused becomes the abuser, and that's what they're doing. And I think that they're just lost in it. Maybe is their way of looking for attention, so and they swallow in it, and it's just becomes a norm to them. But they're hurting a lot of good people out there, and I just don't think it's right, And maybe they don't mean to do it, but they are doing it, and and a lot of people are getting hurt from it. And to me, personally, they could go fuck off, to tell you the truth. But I'm not going to be a bully. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put it out on social media.
Lower yourself.
Cannot lower myself to what they're doing. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and what Tony's doing, and Chris and Wade, and continue what Ed and Lorraine has started. So yeah, I feel sorry for them, because they're gonna feel it later on. And a lot of these locations that are allowing these haters to be there and be associated with them, they're also going to feel it as well. And it's going to hurt them, because it's going to drag them down. So when you have negative people around you, they're going to take them down as well. All right. They're going to eat themselves alive. They're just self-destruction of themselves. Yeah. And everybody that's involved with them, because that's what they want. That's what the demonic wants. That's what evil wants. All right. In this field, we can't allow it. So yes, if you are watching this, I don't care who it is. All right. Don't be associated with that. All right. Be good people. All right. Enjoy your life. All right. Get away from this if you have to for a while. All right. And just enjoy your life. Get yourself back together. All right. There's bigger things out there to enjoy. All right. You can't be involved in the paranormal field helping people if you have so much negativity in your life. It's just not going to work.
And if you do, if you attempt to, you're just going to breed negativity. So, because I found in my experience, if you go into an investigation and you're pissed off or negative, that affects the spirits. They'll come at you. They may come at you negative. They may choose not to communicate with you, because, like you said, negativity breeds negativity. Evil breeds evil. You can't be doing that.
Right. It can't. And like I said, Ed had said this before, and I watched the video not too long ago, and I shared it. Sometimes you have to do it wrong to make it right. And I think, and you're not really making it wrong. You're really not. If you want to correct this, all right, you have to go and take it on head on, all right, and expose your bullies. And sometimes by doing that, yes, people, it might be wrong, but you have to stand up for your beliefs. All right. And like I said, if this keeps going the way it is, this whole paranormal community is really not a community. And people are going to stop looking at us for help. They really are.
Well, you made the point. There's only like one or two shows out anymore, and what was it? 3 years ago, you would turn on the Travel Channel, it'd be 5-10 shows a day, and because, like you said, nobody wants to tune in, for people faking stuff, for people being negative. They want some reality. Yes.
Well, here's the thing about network TV and these shows. I believe a lot of these shows, the people that are involved in it, the talent that's in the show, I believe their hearts are in the right place. Sometimes the networks want you to do certain things, all right, to make things exciting and everything. And sometimes they get caught out faking stuff. But it's the network. The network wants that excitement. All right. People need to understand that this is entertainment on TV, where you're seeing most of the time. The message is there, right? The way they investigate, and showing you how to investigate, that's pretty good. But don't believe everything you're seeing on network TV.
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
Sometimes it's produced.
And listen, if you don't follow, and these people, they know it, and if they don't follow the direction of the networks, they're not going to have a TV show. All right, so don't put all that blame on the talent. All right, it's the network. It's entertainment, just like in the movies. Right, they're gonna film it the way they want to film it to attract the audience. All right, the way we do things in real life, helping clients, that's totally different than what you see on TV.
Well, I tell
be showing on TV that either.
I tell people all the time, like just take taps. Most people say that taps are pretty legit. So let's just take taps, okay? So even taps, the show when it was popular was like 45 minutes, but they filmed for 3 days. Right. What you saw is what the producers wanted you to see, to make good TV. That's what people have to realize. Yeah. So that's just like my wife. My wife, she's a fan. She doesn't do the paranormal investigating with me, but she's a fan. She likes watching she likes seeing my evidence. She likes watching all the shows. But she cannot stand Zach.
Listen, Zach takes it to a whole different level. Things that he shouldn't be doing. It's not the right way of investigating. But for instance, like Ghost Hunters and everything, like I said, there's a network behind that show. Right. All right. The people on the shows are good people, but they also have a crew of 15 people following them around as well. It's a show. But the basics of that show is to show the people that the paranormal does exist. And how to approach an investigation, doing their investigation. Sometimes they don't show the final conclusion of an investigation to help how they really help the family, Right. And people want to see that, but there's not enough time to edit all that in, But if you want to see, create your own content. It's like what we're doing. You put your content out there and you try to do the best you can. Are you ever going to have a show on TV? Most likely not. But if you know that you're doing something right and you love doing it, enjoy it. Have fun doing it. Enjoy helping people. Get gratification from it. Don't get caught up in the paranormal celebrity aspect of it, but don't hate them for what they're doing on network TV or on these YouTube channels or anything like that. Just bringing awareness to the community. They might have different ways of approaching it. But like I said, take them and divide that. All right. What you want on YouTube content or how it is to really work with a family and help them.
So my thing's always been when you come. So like we know, I've been doing this for 33 years now. And so I'm not a big fan of the TV shows or the YouTube because that's not how it's really, like when we go into the field, that's not how it's really done. But I understand that it's for TV, so I don't fault them. I understand that, we only see 45 minutes of an investigation, blah, blah, blah. As long as they're not faking stuff, I have no problem with it.
It's like I said, it's entertainment, it's television. They have no control of the networks. The networks are the one that's handling the money.
Yep.
All right. They got to pay for their advertisers, their spots on TV and everything. But what we're doing, like I said, you got to take the two and look at them differently. Enjoy it. Have fun watching these videos on YouTube. I think I used to like watching Ghost Hunters when they first came out. I saw a lot of these paranormal shows lately, but I enjoyed it back then. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Well, I consider Steve a friend. I talk to him about once a week. We exchange emails. Steve's a good investigator. He's a good guy. He's another one that's a fan of the Warrens. The Warrens are a lot. So yeah, there's nothing wrong. I used to at least be a fan of the Ghost Brothers. Because they were real. They showed their day job, and then they cut hair. Then they went and investigated. So yeah. So that kind of leads me to my last question, because I want to make sure you get off here for your show.
Yeah, I'm over here pointing at Chris. I got 2 minutes.
I actually have a timer right here. So the last question I will leave you with is how do you think the paranormal field? How do you think the celebrity? The para-pop culture, that's my word, para-pop culture. How do you think the para-pop culture has affected the field, both positively and negatively? What's the impact that it's made?
The para-pop culture, you're talking about like the
TV shows, the YouTubers. The celebrities.
Listen, it brought awareness to the paranormal, I don't see that there's nothing wrong with it. I think some of these celebrities lost themselves in that. I'm not going to say they didn't. They forgot where they came from. And some of them are involved in this drama in this field today. And it's sad. I'm not going to point them out or anything like that, but they're out there and they're part of the problem. And they need to get away from that. We need to bring this field back. It's gotten ridiculous. All right. There's people that look up to you. There's people that look up to us, and then, for help. And they see this bullshit going on. This paranormal thing is not going to be around for very much longer. All right. It's got to change. It's got to change now. So, people that are putting on these events, we put them on. But I want to make sure that I surround myself with good people, and the people that come to our events enjoy it. But if you got these sons of bitches coming out to your events, these haters, all right, that are causing these problems, it's not looking good for that venue. All right. Either these people, they change their ways, they stop the bullshit. I'm not going to stop people from going to events, but it's going to affect your clientele. It's going to affect you eventually, because it's going to take you down with them. So think about what you're doing. And to my haters, I don't hate you. All right. I feel sorry for you. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. And saying that, guys, I got to go. But if the shit doesn't change, it's not, it's going to destroy the paranormal.
Thank you for being on the show, Dan, and we will talk at you later.
All right, bud. Thanks for having me on.